Hey everybody, Jim Chester here coming to you live from Scottsdale, Arizona at the CBP Annual. This is their 41st year. I mean, I've been involved in the chiropractic industry for a decade now, so I'm like a fledgling when it comes to like being a part of this family. But you came all the way down here from
Chicago and Northbrook, Illinois, and it's really awesome. This group is so interested in supporting each other and helping each other, and they're really interested in following and pushing forth information and research that really winds up helping to push the profession forward. You know, the profession winds up being at some of a bit of a crossroads where we have people who are saying and asking whether or not we should be doing certain things, x-rays, evaluations, how we should be doing it and how we should be managing care. And, you know, already in just the first, 2 hours, they've gone through and had two major research articles and groups of presenters sharing about the needed research and the current research that chiropractors need to be using in their practice to increase the care that they wind up receiving and being able to provide, and understanding when it's not appropriate or when it's not appropriate for medical care when they wind up billing through their insurance. It was really been interesting so far. And I got to tell you, this weekend is just getting started. I'm excited that you're here, part of this family. I know you got some of your starts in CBP, so I'm glad you're able to come and join us. But once you've come and begun to be a part of the CBP family, you just really wind up growing with it, and it winds up growing on you. The people here are really embracing, and the process and the work to wind up applying this technique, it does take some time and some involvement. It takes some study. But the people here that are studying it and have studying it, they want to help new docs get introduced to it, because the outcomes that they're sharing and Dr. Deed is researching are absolutely phenomenal. They're absolutely phenomenal in short-term results. They're absolutely phenomenal, even more amazing in long-term results, in not just making people feel better, which we all do in chiropractic, but making permanent change to not just their structures, which CBP is well known for. People know, the posture folks, but what they're showing and what they're starting to find is about nerve function, and that's what's really been cool.
So you said Deed. Let's just mention a little bit about how thankful we are for having Deed being the trailblazer that he is for the profession.
You know, we're blessed to have him in the profession, supporting the profession. You know, part of the conference that we've already had this afternoon was doing some validation on X-ray imaging. And, you know, we are under attack about it, but we are prevailing. And a lot of the work that's coming out and the research that's coming out, Deed is on the forefront on presenting, writing up, and sharing. And not only is he doing that, but he's running, he's got a household, he runs a family, just like we all do. He also winds up having a practice. He also winds up teaching thousands of doctors around the world. He works with researchers around the world to wind up helping to further what we do so that we can continue to practice the way that we've learned and the way that we want to. So I'm really thankful for him. He helped to change me and my practice. The work that we do here has for me. I was practicing and I was frustrated because I got great results. Patients were happy, but I had a few cases where folks went backwards when they shouldn't have. So it was really surprising to me. And Deed happened to be coming to town in Chicago, and they did the cervical rehabilitation of the spine seminar, and it made sense. I took some simple steps. I was supported by my colleagues here within the group to wind up doing it. They were great at answering questions about the work because it is different and involved, and they wound up helping me to evolve my practice and grow over time into learning how to use the different tools we use to help wind up creating long-term change for people, whether they're old or young, whether they've had chronic injuries or have new ones, so that they could live the life that they want.
Amazing information, and I do really appreciate the validation that Deed does and how he protects the sacred trust and how he keeps on making sure that people know the course that we're on as a profession and why we need to keep doing the things that we're all doing together. Because like my mentor, Ed Osborne, says, we're all more alike than we are different, but some of us have a little bit more technique-driven assessments. And I think that that's something really amazing about chiropractic biophysics is the technique-driven assessment end of it. Doing research, showing why X-ray is so integral to the profession. One of the things I know that I'm going to switch gears, but one of the things I know that you're really into right now is you started a podcast and finding your voice. And I think that that's something that's really important. So let's talk a little bit about like your brainchild with understanding what you're doing and why you're taking these action steps to create something for the profession.
Yeah, well, you know, for me, about 6 months ago, and as I'm telling, I started to get frustrated at some of my patients when they shared with me they'd never heard of chiropractic before. Now, I've been in chiropractic now for almost 20 years, so feel as though everyone should know about it forever. But it took my wife telling me, 12 years ago, I had no idea what chiropractic was. And she's a smart, intelligent woman. And I realized the only reason why she didn't know what chiropractic was because nobody got to her life and shared the stories of chiropractic. And I don't mean the story of BJ Palmer in chiropractic. I mean our stories in chiropractic. So for me, what I've poured a lot of my passion and energy into over the last several months is looking to collect stories and really create a library of people's stories, whether it's doctors, whether it's patients, but first-hand stories of what chiropractic is, how it's affected people's lives, and how it can wind up affecting others, so that we can wind up having one resource with thousands of stories compacted into it, where the focus is to tell stories so that we can go there, we can find stories on any relative subject. So if it's that patient that you may be having right now, that you don't have that story in your arsenal for, you've got a resource to go to and just search through to find that story that matches them and say, hey, you know what? This is what chiropractic can do for you. It's been a lot of fun to do. The stories have been really exciting. And if you want to learn about them or check it out, it's at realchiropracticstories.com. That's the name of the podcast. It's on all the podcast catchers as well. If you want to tell your story, I'm always open for stories, so feel free to reach out to me. I'm on Facebook. I'm on Instagram. I'm on LinkedIn. You can email me, Dr. Gerstin at Align WC. Yeah. Look at my name below. That's going to be a lot easier than figuring that out. And, we'll hop on. We'll talk a little bit. You can tell your story. You can tell a little bit more about how you help to influence chiropractic. Or if you've got a patient with an amazing story, I want to help record it and to save it forever.
Well, one of my friends from Scotland, Michael Daly, is on here with me, and I think that he would have an amazing story. He's an advocate over in Scotland, so he works in an office as well, similar to my story. So he'd be a really good story for you to catch as well. Switching gears again, is there anybody out there that you want to say hi to?
Yes, there absolutely is. There's three real special people. So I want to say thank you to my wife and hi, Michelle. You're amazing. Thank you for taking care of our kids. While I'm here, I also want to say hi to my kids, Logan and Jordan. How you doing? Happy Friday. Shabbat Shalom. I miss you guys. I really love you. I can't wait to see you guys on Sunday.
Awesome. Well, is there anything that I didn't touch on that you'd like to speak to our audience about today?
Well, I think that we really hit it all. I want to thank you. Like I said, I want to thank you for being here. You're amazing what you do in sharing and being here. So thank you for coming down.
Well, it's an honor for me to be amongst this tribe of chiropractors. There's nothing greater than learning more, teaching more, and traveling more to spread this beautiful profession of chiropractic. I kind of think about it as being the Johnny Appleseed of chiropractic. As everywhere we go, we plant trees, and everywhere we go, we share the stories. And that's one of the things I really admire about you is taking action, because it's not easy to create a brand, to do the shows, to process the shows, to produce the shows, to disseminate the shows, and then to actually get people on schedule and to get them to actually commit and then to get them on at a certain time, knowing time zones. I mean, there's so many things that can tripwire you when you're doing productions. So my advice to anybody out there that wants to do what Greg and I are doing is don't think about the first 10 episodes. What do I always say?
Think about the 100th. And if you haven't heard his 100th episode, check back to it. It's really great. The guys go back and interview each other, so you want to be sure to listen to that episode.
Awesome. Well, I'm just going to give Greg a big hug, tell him I love him.
Love you too, my brother.
And I'm going to go ahead and close out. But before I do that, if you want more information on this beautiful technique called chiropractic biophysics, go to idealspine.com. You can find a doc that does it. If you're a patient, there's a patient portal. You can find anything that you need to help you out. But if you also want to refer to another office that might need to get a little bit different care, then reach out to idealspine.com. And if you want to get into their diplomat program or get advanced certified, you can have the opportunity to do that as well. But I'm going to close out by saying you guys are just one story away. Keep hustling. We'll see you guys in the next one.